All right. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday, everybody. We'll get some people on here. Let's see what happens. Hello, hello, out in the old interweb lands. And I'm early. I'm early. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if we'll get some people on here. Let's see what happens. Where's everybody at? Instagram, hello. TikTok, what's happening? We'll get some people on Facebook here in a few. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. What is going on in your side of the world, wherever you are when you are watching this? If you guys jump on, say hello. Let me know you guys are out there and where you're from. TikTok people, I see a bunch of people coming on. Hello, welcome. Appreciate you guys jumping on. Let me know where you guys are at. Curious. We're kind of new to TikTok on this platform or on the TikTok platform. So I'd love to see where everybody's at. Lots to discuss this week. And it's going to be kind of crazy, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. So, where's everybody at? Where are you guys at? Let me know where you're at in the world. Got lots to talk about today coming up on this show this week. Big stuff coming. Gabriel, what's up, brother? York, PA. Wow. Right down the street. That's what I'm talking about. Looking forward to seeing you. Thanks for jumping on. TikTok, where are you guys at? I see a bunch of people on TikTok jumping on. Let me know where you guys are at in the world. Love to hear from you. Say hello. Don't be shy. So we're gonna get into this because we got a lot to cover today. So today, Groundhogs Day, and I just happen to be out here in Pennsylvania because we got a lot coming up this weekend. And that pesky groundhog woke up this morning and says it's going to be an early spring. How many of you get into like are superstitious and get into like and follow that? I honestly I had forgot all about it until I got up this morning and and saw my emails and the social media feeds just flooded with the groundhog and the event that took place this morning. So they do it not far from here, about an hour and a half, I think, north Pennsylvania, I believe. And the groundhog says that we are going to have an early spring, and I'm sure it has something to do with global warming. I'm kidding. I sorry, I could not help myself. I couldn't help myself. So, who's looking forward to an early spring? I certainly am, because it was kind of a cold winter on the East Coast out here. TikTok, love you guys. Appreciate it. Let me know where you guys are at. Instagram, same thing. And I got on early, so I know there's people. We got a lot of West Coast people that will eventually jump on. Depending on the platform, we are kind of getting silence from a lot of platforms. But yeah, let's dive into what we got coming up. So it's early spring. Early spring's right around the corner. That's what the groundhog says. What do we got coming up? We got some events coming up here this weekend, starting tomorrow. The world's largest outdoor show. It's called the Great American Outdoor Show. It's awesome. Those of you that are hunters, outdoorsmen, fishermen, this is the show that you want to get to. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, February 3rd through the 11th. It's the world's largest outdoor show. We are excited that we are going to be walking the floors for the next week at the show. Looking forward to seeing network sponsors and old friends out there this coming week. So we got a busy week coming up. Super stoked and excited about it. So who's going to be at the Great American Outdoor Show this coming week? Let us know what what day you're going to be out there. We would love to link up with you. Let me see here. What else? Also coming up February 29th, our friends Label 22 is having their launch party. Stephen Cochran, Marine Corps veteran, good friend of ours, um, has got a hell of a lineup. Chris Turner, another good friend of ours. But this is for Project K9 Hero. Project K9 Hero. Great organization. Jason Johnson has done a fantastic job with that organization, uh, getting dogs trained for service members and whatnot. I love this. This is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, February 29th at the Whiskey Bent Saloon. That's right there on the main strip on Broadway there. So how many of you are going to be down in Nashville on the 29th? We're going to try to make it down there. We love it. So hopefully we can get down there then. And then right now, tentatively, we got CPAC February 21st through the 24th in Washington, D.C. We're hoping to be down there as well. So, again, lots of stuff coming up. Busy, busy month in February, and we're excited about it. Before I forget, in honor of the Great American Outdoor Show coming up starting tomorrow, this week's HMG Weekly Wrap Up is sponsored by our network sponsor, Forget Genetics. Go to forgetgenetics.com and use promo code HMG for 10% off at with your purchase. Love this guy. It's a veteran-owned organization. Desiree, what's up, girl? How you doing? Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. So check out forgetgenetics.com. Now, TikTok, you guys can't see this. It's up on Facebook, YouTube, and some of the other stuff, but forgetgenetics.com. Go check them out. Veteran-owned company. Again, if you are an outdoors person, hunter, this is definitely for your hunting needs. This product is great. I absolutely love their stuff that Barry creates. So good stuff. All right, let's get started on some of the things that we saw in the news this week. And we got some stuff. We got some stuff from all over the place. So first one up is the House passes a $78 billion tax relief bill. House Representatives passed a bipartisan legislation expanding the child care tax credit. Okay, seems like good news. Tax relief for the American Families and Workers Act passed by a vote of 357 to 70. 47 Republicans and 23 Democrats voted against the bill. If the bill becomes law, the package would temporarily include a phased-in annual increase of the child tax credit maximum refundable amount from $1,600 until it hits $2,000 for 2025. The bill also increases the ability to expense research and development costs if done in the United States to incentivize U.S. manufacturing. So, what are your thoughts on the tax? I don't like taxes anyway, but most people don't. But House Speaker Mike Johnson said in a statement that the tax relief for the American Families and Workers Act is important bipartisan legislation to receive conservative pro-growth tax reform. Critically, the bill also ends a wasteful COVID-era program, saving taxpayers tens of billions of dollars, so it says. So yeah, interesting. What are you guys' thoughts on the tax? Does you here in the U.S.? What are your thoughts on the new tax relief bill? Do you think that should get passed? It's going to be interesting. Let's find out. Next up, also close to home, United States Navy to allow those without a high school diploma or GED to enlist. Apparently the recruiting is down quite a bit. So much so that the Navy has decided said last Friday that it will allow those without a high school diploma to enlist as long as they score a 50 or higher on the Armed Forces qualification test. Everybody, all prospects must take that test. This is they're doing this so they can boost recruitment numbers, because right now we're at a historic low in recruitment. Those without a general education development or GED credential will also be able to enlist as long as they hit the test score threshold, according to the Chief of Naval Personnel's office. Interesting. I thought that was pretty interesting. Do you think the Navy, or excuse me, do you think the Army or maybe even the Marine Corps will follow suit? Hard to say. Or the Space Force? I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Recruitment down. Why is that? Next up, we got a Quebec man who blamed the 2023 wildfires on the government, pleads guilty for setting 14 fires. Wow. The man posted conspiracy theories online that forest fires were being deliberately set by the government, has pleaded guilty to starting a series of fires himself that forced hundreds of people from their homes. Now, this is up in Canada. Brian Paris, 38 years old, pleaded guilty this past Monday, to 13 counts of arson and 1 count of arson with the disregard of human life at the courthouse in Quebec. Why? Here's the other thing that brings, when it comes to Canada up there and the fires that went on. Who is there? Who's that guy up there in Canada? Trehu? Did I say his name right? Anybody? He stated that those fires were because of global warming. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Yeah, that blew my mind. Anyway, moving on. This one hits home here in the U.S. Earlier this week, 3 U.S. service members killed, others injured in Jordan following a drone attack. 3 U.S. soldiers were identified. This is out of the DoD. 3 U.S. soldiers were killed yesterday in Jordan. Not yesterday, earlier this week. While more than 40 other service members were injured following an aerial system attack at a military base near the Syrian border. Those service members were in Jordan to support Operation Inherent Resolve, which is the U.S. and coalition mission to ensure the defeat of ISIS. The 3 soldiers that were killed: Sergeant William Drome Rivers, Specialist Kennedy Sanders, and Specialist Breonna Moffett. All 3 were assigned to the 718th Engineer Company, 926 Engineer Battalion, 926 Engineer Brigade, Fort Moore, Georgia. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to those families. And as a veteran, brothers and sisters, we rest peacefully. We hope that you rest peacefully. We have the watch from here. God bless you. Moving on. Next up, this one was really interesting. I've brought this topic up in the past before, and I got a lot of you out there right now. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk's Neuralink put out that brain implant that we had talked about months ago? Well, it's out there now. They found a human test subject, and The implant has been implanted into a person's brain. Elon Musk says uh, his ambitious plan to let humans wirelessly connect their brains with phones and other devices has taken a new step, announcing that the first human has received a brain implant from his Neuralink company. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I honestly I got mixed emotions about this. I got to tell you. Jenna, don't like it. Yeah, I don't like I'm not sure I really like it. What are we doing? What are the pros and cons to it? It's something new, so immediately there's a lot of pushback. Fees, what's the topic? The topic is right now we're talking about Elon Musk Neuralink implant into the brain. What are your thoughts on that? Should we be implanting computer chips into the brain that allows humans to wirelessly connect with phones and other devices? Fees, not a fan. Yeah. I'm really starting to sense a lot of people aren't really big fans about this. It blows my mind that I don't know. It's weird. It's almost just like from a sci-fi horror flick almost. We're gonna implant your brain. What could happen to this person? Or what could happen? The person, excuse me, who was not identified is recovering well, according to Musk. He went to uh, he sent a message out on X, formerly known as Twitter. Initial results show promising neuron spike detection and added, referring to the cellular activity between the brain and the nervous system. I ah, what do we have here? It's a cool concept, but actually go through with it, made it. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, you're right. It's insane. I can't think about putting a and then all of a sudden, okay, I'm gonna control this or I'm gonna control that with my brain. It's something out of a sci-fi film, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong for feeling that way? That I think this is just really, really weird. Are we getting to the point where we're trying to play God? Merging man with machine. Yeah. What was that movie back in the 80s? RoboCop, was it the 80s, late 80s, early 90s? I forget. I just basically dated myself. Man and machine. But here's the other thing. Like what happens if it short circuits and it causes a problem? Then what are you going to do? Have emergency surgery? I mean, look at the different types of surgeries that there are now where they put hardware in somebody, and if somebody gets something infected, um, they have to go in and have emergency surgery to have it removed, right? So, the whole is the whole idea of putting a com- basically a computer chip into your brain that is Wi-Fi and out and talking to my cell phone or other shit in my house blows my mind. I don't think I could personally do it. But that's me. That's me. That's some crazy crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right, let's move on. Let's move on from Elon Musk because I'm sure we'll talk about him again next week as well. Um, on the topic of climate change, John Pistetta is the new climate envoy. He was the clean energy advisor. Will replace John Kerry as the U.S. climate envoy, according to a report from the Washington Post this past week. The Post obtained a statement from Pistetta during a phone interview in which he said Secretary Kerry has put the U.S. back on the leadership of climate around the world. I think some of us would disagree with that. But in he's Pistetta currently oversees the implementation of the Inflation Reduction Act and previously served as former President Bill Clinton's chief of staff, counselor to former President Barack Obama, and was the chairman of Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign. Why did I throw this in here? Because it had the word climate in it? Yes, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now with climate change that talks about this. And this is where I tell you guys every week, don't take my word for it. Look this stuff up and what's being said. Look it up and what's being said, and start putting it's a puzzle. Life is basically they're giving us a puzzle, and all the pieces are there. You just got to kind of have to put it together. And when you start putting it together, you're going to see the real picture of what the problem is. Problem isn't us. And I'm not a big proponent of us versus them. I'm saying there are people that are making decisions that are not in the best interest for everybody as a whole. Period. Moving on. DOD office holds a book discussion on far right terrorism. This one blew my mind. Let me tell you, the Pentagon office overseeing special operations and irregular warfare, held a discussion for a book on so-called far right terrorism. And this is coming from the Daily Caller. Okay, so you guys see, I'm not just getting things from one thing; it's coming from different places. Bruce Hoffman, a Georgetown University professor and senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, and Jacob Ware, a CFR research fellow, were slotted to discuss their book uncovering right-wing terrorism in the United States through the Ku Klux Klan and the January 6th Capitol event. I can't make this up. The fact that they're bringing up the January 6th Capitol event, if you deep dive and research how many people were arrested for that, and then you really study the videos that have come out on that, you would see that there was a big hoax, and the media played that up as a propaganda. Again, my opinion, don't take my word for it. By all means, go look it up. But the fact that there's a book out there, Far Right Terrorism, go check this out. It's an interesting read, to say the least. Last headline for this week, and then we got to get into the shows. Got a lot of good shows this week. Last headline this week: Utah passes a bill to regulate bathroom access for transgenders. Utah is set to become the next state to regulate bathroom access for transgender individuals after its legislator passed a measure last week that requires people to use bathrooms and locker rooms in public schools and government-owned buildings that match their sex assigned at birth. Let me say that again, so there's no confusion. Whatever sex you were when you were born, that's the bathroom you use. That's the locker room you used. Doesn't matter if you identify as this or that, or I don't give a damn. If you were born a boy, then you use the boys' locker room. You use the boys' bathroom. Is that a big deal? This is a legitimate question. I'm asking everybody because I know around the world it's a little bit different. I know in other countries they have unisex bathrooms, and technically we have unisex bathrooms here. Like go to any airport, there's the family bathrooms and the unisex bathrooms and whatnot. But what are your thoughts on that? There's been 10 other states, including Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, Idaho, Kansas, Kentucky, North Dakota, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. They've all passed laws that seek to regulate which bathroom transgender people can use. I'm legitimately asking you guys, is that a big deal to people? What are your thoughts? All right. Those of you that just joined in, real quick, I want to throw this back up there. For the next week, going to be a busy week here at HMG. We got some new shows that we're onboarding, but we're going to spend a lot of time at the Great American Outdoor Expo in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, February 3rd, tomorrow, through February 11th. If you're going to be up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for the show, I want to see you. Let's meet up. Love to shake your hand. Come check us out. We'll be walking around all week. All right. And if you're new to the platform, if you're new to Heroes Media Group, first off, thank you and welcome. Want to welcome everybody to the show. If you're not familiar with who we are, we're a digital media and publishing company. We help podcasters build their podcasts, and we do everything from hosting to full-blown production. And then authors that are out there, that if you have a manuscript, you have a book, and you want to turn it into an audiobook, that's something that we also specialize in. You can reach us at heroesmediagroup.com. Check out all the shows there as well. Let's get into some of the shows. So this week, I'm going over people that have done episodes this week so far. So first up, we got a show called Feed the People by the People. And this week's title, I love it. It's called WTF WEF. This week, they're asking WTF to the World Economic Forum. I love this. And trying to understand how they expect to rebuild trust by doubling down on the propaganda machine. And what's really cool is that Feed the People by the People, they are super happy to be a wrench in the system. I'm happy to be a part of that wrench being in the system. I can't stand the World Economic Forum. You've heard it here. Probably why I got censored last week. One of the videos got cut, taken down, because we were talking about the WEF. They don't like it when you're talking about bad stuff about them. We're going to continue because I don't remember voting these people in. WEF, the WEF, for those of you that don't know, World Economic Forum, those are the higher ups of in their own world, in my opinion. And they say, you are not going to own anything and you're going to be happy. Let me know how that works out for you, because I ain't going to comply. Check it out. Feed the People by the People. Love it. Next up, we got the John Mayo podcast. This week, how the events of our lives are inherently neutral. And it's our personal translation and value assessment that shape their meaning. They dive into a transformative power of rewriting our perceptions and how you can apply understanding your own experiences. I love this show. Great show. John's a great guy. Another Army veteran. Go check it out, the John Mayo podcast. Next up, we got the Hero Academy with host Super Dave. After retiring from the LAPD with 24 years of service, Sergeant Marlon Marachi, I hope I said his name right. Probably didn't, so I apologize, sir. Now dedicated to educating other law enforcement on internal affairs. This show, they go in and they talk about what he does. He goes into law enforcement agencies all across the country. He also has a show, a podcast show called Internal Affairs, a police podcast as well. So they talk about that. Check it out. The Hero Academy with Super Dave. What else do we got? Next up, we got Beyond the Rut. This week's I love this week's title. It's called The Dad Bod Epidemic. Lasting weight loss for busy dads. This week, he's joined by Yuri, who is a fitness coach, and they dive into the journey towards sustainable weight loss and lifestyle changes for many men navigating fitness while juggling family and career. It's challenging. As a single parent, for many years, it was challenging. 50 to 60 hour weeks, trying to get to the gym, school full time, and then, of course, raising a child. Amazing. This is a great episode. I'm glad Jerry's back. Check it out, Beyond the Rut. Next up, we got Label Free Podcast. This week unveiling the secrets of lasting love. Andre, a former professional dancer and the founder of Project Equinox, Andre shares his mission to help others create and maintain a long lasting, loving relationship. He discusses his own journey of self discovery and understanding the dynamics of relationship. Love it. Great episode. Check it out. Label free podcast. Next up, we got The Other Side of the Firewall. Love this show. They do a show every day. Monday through Friday, they have an episode that comes out. This week, 23andMe hackers stole the genotype data. Tuesday is all about teens targeted by Sextron's tactics. Wednesday, listen to this one. Wednesday's topic was the NSA caught buying your data. NSA. I want to say hello to all of you at the NSA right now watching this. You got caught. It was an interesting episode. Check it out. Other Side of the Firewall. And those of you on TikTok who want to follow along, you can check out all the shows at heroesmediagroup.com. Next up, we have the Misfit Nation podcast. Whew. He does a couple of he did a couple of shows this week, and they were just live last night. This week it was Rich and RJ hosted. RJ, I believe, hosted the show as they welcome John Lawyer, a U.S. Army veteran whose life story unfolds from the dusty combat zones of the desert to a deeply personal and spiritual battleground. I love this. I watched this show last night live for a little while. In this compelling episode, John shares his remarkable transformation from a soldier in the midst of warfare to spiritual seeker navigating the navigation of the soul. Today, he stands as one of the guides for Kresher, a nonprofit online spiritual community that provides a sacred place for individuals to share their unique journeys and explore their spiritual paths. Great episode. Love this show. Misfit Nation, check it out. Next up, we got Carry On Politics. This week, James Hutton, former Assistant Secretary for the Department of Veteran Affairs. He's a retired colonel and the co-founder of Cutting Edge Comms. They explore the ramifications, accountability within the military ranks, reflecting James's own military background in this conversation. And they also discuss the the broader implications, such as unexpected leave of the Secretary of the Defense, Lloyd Austin. Good episode. Carry On Politics. Check it out. Next up, we welcome back, finally, Pushing Back Chaos. I love it. Mike and Melon are back. Their first episode of 2024. We're glad these guys are back. This week they're talking about consistency. Is there a secret to long-term happiness when life is working? Is it because we have found our way to a solid routine? What can we do to build our way towards the best future selves, especially when things don't seem to be tracking in the right direction? If you are not familiar with this show, you better get familiar with it. Pushing Back Chaos. These guys are great. The hosts are in different parts of the world, so the fact that they come together to put this show on for you, check it out. Pushing Back Chaos. Next up, we got Time to Shine Today. This week, Kathy Walterhouse, a.k.a. the Professional Rule Breaker. Good show. Check it out. Time to Shine Today. They got a couple of episodes that come out each week, and you can follow them on Facebook. Time to Shine Today. Next up, we got The Shay Sparks Show. This week, how can you take a challenging moment and channel resilience and determination and turn that into recovery? That's what they're talking about this way. After a plane crash survivor shares his journey of determination and what he has learned along the way. This was an amazing episode. Andy Clark, the visionary CEO behind All Aboard Storage, a thriving multi-million dollar family business that he had started. He's not just a business leader in his community, he's an advocate, demonstrating his commitment to giving back. He pledged $3 million to local nonprofits in his area, including Halifax Health Arts in Medicine. It's a heartfelt gesture to the hospital that played a vital role in his recovery after his crash. Amazing episode. Check it out. The Shay Sparks Show. Next up, our man Vegas with Because Bikers Matter podcast. This week, he welcomes back Steve Linder, the founder of Life Tough Kids Boxing. And they're talking about Fight Night 7, kids boxing. You think, this is amazing. Steve's a great guy. They discuss the emotional and physical toll that boxing takes on young participants, highlighting the bravery and the dedication it requires to step into the ring. Also, expresses his concern for the well-being of the kid, emphasizing the importance of ensuring their safety and providing them with a positive experience. I think it's great what Steve Linder is doing of Life Tough Kids Boxing. This is a great episode. Check it out. Because Bikers Matter. All right, next up, we got the MSEC podcast. This week, Operation Homefront is a national nonprofit organization whose mission is to build strong, stable, and secure military families. Jenny Valderez discusses how their programs and resources serve the entire family, because when the military families are strong, the communities are strong. And in that, America is strong. America. Love it. Great episode. Military Child Education Coalition. This is, listen, if you're a veteran, if you're active duty, guard, reserve, or you're a veteran and you have kids at home of age that are still going to school, you need to follow Military Child Education Coalition. Check them out. Love it. Hunter over on the talk. What up? I'm doing pretty good, man. Just doing my thing, baby. Appreciate you jumping on. Thank you. What do we got next? The Arms Room Show, one of the OGs of HMG. This week, discussing why you shouldn't buy more gear and just focus on building your skills instead. So true. Stop wasting your money on buying all the tactical gear doing X, Y, and Z. Focus on building your skills instead. I love this episode. Great episode. Check it out, The Arms Room. Next up, we got Chasing Happiness. Ever been locked out of your own success story? This episode reveals a tough lesson learned from the unexpected setbacks at Bayard Park, where they were missing keys and skipped an open house, tested their resolve. Ryan Dement, who is the host of Chasing Happiness, is a realtor. He's got properties, I believe, all over the country, but mainly down in Arizona. And he really puts himself out on this show, and you learn so much from it. This was a great show just about patience and how to overcome adversity and setbacks when something doesn't go according to plan. Chasing Happiness. Check it out. Next up, we got, what do we got? The Joel Evans Show. This week, Lee Brandon detailing his latest book, Eliminating Adult Acne for Good. What's crazy about that is acne affects around 50% of the population. What's even more crazy is how ineffective modern Western treatment is to address acne. Joe it doesn't surprise me that he's got another awesome episode this week. Joel Evan, go check it out, the Joel Evan Show. Last, certainly not least, this week we got your 6 at 6 with our friends over at the People's Patriot Project. Every Sunday night, Central Standard Time, they do a round table. They got a ton of great guests that they do, and this isn't their only show. They got We 3P Radio. I say that right, Mark? And then they do a weekly wrap up for the People's Patriot Project. So they put out a couple of shows as well. Go follow them. It's a great organization. They're doing a lot for the veteran and first responder communities. Catch their live on social media every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, I got to give a shout out this week, special shout out to our friends over at Forget Genetics. Barry, Army veteran, a good friend of mine, one of our network sponsored this week's show. Looking forward to seeing them this coming week at the world's largest outdoor show, the Great American Outdoor Show. Again, if you're a hunter, fisherman, or just an outdoorsman, this is the show you want to be at. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, February 3rd through the 11th. You can get your tickets by going to greatamericanoutdoor.org, I believe. What else? It's tax season. Those of you here in the U.S. got to pay taxes. If you're not sure what you need to do, get a hold of My Tax Fella. Go to mytaxfella.com. Talk to my man Anthony. Let him give you the hookup and help you out with your taxes. Get it done right. JB Auto Clothiers. If you like the jacket that I am wearing today, you can see kind of the inside there. Lighting kind of sucks this morning. Forgive me. I will be doing suit-up events now. Moving forward, JB Auto Clothiers. Sign up for a suit-up, or if you want a suit or a jacket or a tux or a custom shirt or a custom tie, which I did not put my bow tie on this morning, go to jbautoclothiers.com. Reach out to us. I'm going to be doing suit-ups for people in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and Maryland areas here over the next 2 months, next 60 days, till the end of, I lied, till the end of April, actually. I'll be doing suit-ups in and around these areas. So if you want a suit, hit us up. Go to jbautoclothiers.com. Check them out. Thank you, Alibi Tattoo, another network sponsor. Ops Lens, thank you. Feed the People, Buy the People. Home Studio. The Freedom People. Listen, those of you that want to get out of the matrix, go to thefreedompeople.com and get a trust set up today. You'll love it. You'll thank me for it. Trust me. Jim Neary's Bait and Tackle and Warriors on the Water LTD. Appreciate your guys' support. Looking forward to seeing you guys at the show here in the next few days. Got a Hole Brewing down in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Thank you. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. I say it every week. Come on. If you're riding a motorcycle safety lawyers better be on your speed dial. I love it. And of course, last but not least, over here, HMG Beverage. Go to hmgbeverage.com or HMG Coffee, and you can see what blends we have available. And if you stay tuned, next week, we're going to be live. Next week, we will do this show live from the Great American Outdoor floor up there. We'll be at the show. We're going to do our live up there, and we will be doing a giveaway. We'll be doing a coffee giveaway. I haven't done a coffee giveaway in a while, so we're going to be doing a giveaway next week. That's all the time I got today, folks. I appreciate you guys jumping on. God bless you. God bless America. Get out. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next week.